What's up guys, DuArktik with another Marvel Strike Force video, and in this video we are going to talk about the unlimited X-Men allies. We are going to talk about Phantom X, Gambit and Dazzler. They are coming next patch and supposedly it's going to drop in the next few days. So we are going to take a first look at these characters, first impression about the kits, what I think about them, if they are going to be good in raids or other game modes, maybe not. And I'm going to tell you in which characters you should focus your red stars on, because red stars are becoming more and more important, especially now that all legendaries require dark promotion credits, and the main source of dark promotion credits is going to use your basic red star orbs. So it's becoming more and more important to make decisions on this. So like always, if you can avoid spending your red star orbs and you can get red stars to a blitz or something like this, then I recommend you to take always that path, and then you can upgrade the characters a few weeks later with the silver promotion credits. Okay, so we are going to take a look at the kits, we are going to take a look at the stats and see what are the first impressions on these guys. So like always, if you like the information, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you are new to my channel, make sure you subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content and make sure you smash that like button. So let's get started. And you can also tell me in the comments below what you think about these characters and if you are excited about Dazzler's makeup, if you are a big fan of it or not really. So let's get started. We are going just to take a look at the kits, nothing else, and we are also going to take a look at the stats. Okay, so Gambit. Is Gambit going to be a great character in raids and other things, because that's what people are talking about. Is he going to help the Astonishing X-Men in raids? We'll take a look at his kit and you will see that it doesn't have much going on there in terms of raids. So maybe the other characters that will be coming up next, which will be Rogue, supposedly, Legendary, and supposedly also Rachel Summers. Maybe with those characters Gambit will be a little bit better. So far you'll see that he's not very impressive. Now, something that is not very impressive about Gambit is his speed. Based on what Tauna said, his speed is going to be 107 outside of Cosmic Crucible, and that's like trash. It's very bad speed, and that's already one of the reasons why this guy is not going to be good in raids. So in terms of HP, he has very good HP, he has decent damage, the armor is also very good, plus he's going to get bonus armor from the allies. The resistance is kinda low and the focus is somewhat decent. The ISO suggestion is Raider, but he would also be good striker and maybe even skirmisher. It really depends, but because he gets additional effects from using the Raider ISO 8 whenever he crits, I guess we'll be forced into it. Now, if a character has like crit chance and crit damage, you don't have necessarily to use Raider. Raider is better for characters that get additional effects like the X Factor and like Shang-Chi. Whenever they crit, they get deflects or they get barrier and turn meter. Other characters that have similar effects like Doctor Strange, he does more crit damage and more crits, but if he doesn't get an additional effect, you don't have necessarily to use the Raider. But for the case of Gambit, he benefits from the Raider. Okay, so let's get started. Let's take a look at his kit. So attack primary target for big damage, and then bonus attack the most injured enemy for big damage, and it's piercing. Applies heal block and ignores stun. So very good ability, and as you can see, these type of abilities are very good with Striker, but once again we are being forced into using Raider with him. Okay, so now the special is a very cool ability. It requires no energy, so you can spam this ability, but it has a charge mechanic, and if you use the charge, it has additional effects. So, attack the primary target and adjacent targets for big damage, piercing, applies bleed, and it will last 2 turns. So that means that you can stack up this bleed, and if you have any character that benefits out of negative effects, this will be something very convenient to have in mind. So, if the character is charged, and you'll see that he gets charged on spawn, apply ability block to the primary target and then lose 1 charge. Now, he only gets charges on spawn for now, So this is not super great, because if you don't want to apply ability block on the first turn, that means you cannot use this ability on your first turn. So it's kind of inconvenient. It's kind of forcing you to don't use this ability all the time, to be like to use it at like specific moments. So it's a very inconvenient situation, like I said, because he is not able to get any more charges. So in Cosmic Crucible, when you use this ability, the special that costs 0 energy, you'll get 2 turns of speed up for self and his team. This is very good because of the 0 energy cost, and because this does big damage. That means that you can spam this ability continuously and you'll always get the speed up. Very, very cool. In Cosmic Crucible, additional X-Men allies, so that means Uncanny or Astonishing, have a 50% chance of also getting 2 turns of speed up. So that's very, very cool. When the AI blah blah blah, this is irrelevant, but it's saying that you should not use this character on defense, otherwise it's gonna mess up the charge, and it will never use this ability. It will always use the basic. So very inconvenient, and that should mean that you should always use this team on offense in Alliance Wars and in Cosmic Crucible. Okay, so now let's take a look at the ultimate. 3 energy out of 6, so is a 2-second turn ability, takes quite a while to get charged. Attack all enemies for big damage, 500%. If this character has 3 or more X-Men allies, they don't have to be unlimited, it will apply 2 turns of Disrupt to all enemies. So this is a very impressive ability. Unfortunately, the problem of this ability is that it's only for turn 2. In Cosmic Crucible, this ability becomes even better, and it will flip all the positive effects on the enemies into negative effects. Not all, only 2. So it will flip 2 positive effects on the enemies to negative effects. Now, for example, if you are using the unlimited X-Men against the Black Order, this is going to be very convenient because you are going to flip the defense up and the counters from Ebony Maw and everyone else into defense down and bleed. So very, very interesting ability, very, very powerful. But of course, if they have safeguard or whatever, it's not gonna work. This ability is unavoidable and cannot be blocked. Nice. Okay, so the passive for Gambit, we have on spawn gain charged. In Cosmic Crucible gains 2 charges. Very nice. At the end of any enemy turn, attack the most injured enemy, ignoring taunt for 180% piercing, and it also applies heal block. So this is similar to the passive of Iceman, but a little bit better, because instead of attacking the enemy that is going to have his turn, it's always going to attack the most injured enemy. At the end of any enemy turn in Cosmic Crucible, fill the speed bar of Gambit by 20%. So this is very, very strong. This is similar to what Morgan Le Fay does, but Morgan Le Fay is 10% to the entire team. This one is only 20% just for Gambit, so makes him a lot faster. In Cosmic Crucible, outside of Cosmic Crucible, he's still slow as a snail. When this character drops below 50% health 1 time per match, gain stealth for 2 turns, gain immunity for 1 turn, and clears all defense downs from this character. It's a nice ability, but nothing compared to like the Eternals or characters like that get 60% health, like also the Inhumans, they also have that mechanic. So it's a nice ability, but at least for now, it doesn't look that great. Let's continue. On crit, apply evade to self and all unlimited X-Men allies, and this is why I said that they are forcing you to have Raider on this guy, because he is the only one that can activate this mechanic. When this character has stealth, so that means he's below 50% health, gain 50% drain, but if you get out of stealth, you lose the 50% drain, so not a great ability. When this character gains evade, so that means on spawn, thanks to Phantom X, and also whenever he crits, him and the entire team will get 25% crit chance and crit damage. So higher chance of crits, and also those crits will do 25% more damage. Gain 50% health, X-Men allies will get 25% max health, and unlimited X-Men will also get additional 25% max health. So as you can see, very interesting character, very strong on Cosmic Crucible, but outside of Cosmic Crucible is not going to be that great. He's going to be okay in Alliance Wars, he's going to be decent, somewhat decent in Alliance Wars. In raids, I really don't see how you are going to use this guy because he's too slow and the abilities are not there. He can't keep up with the other characters and his abilities are not that great, especially like the best team that we have for raids right now. Oh, I cannot show it, but it's Omega Red, it's Emma Frost, Beast, Iceman and Jubilee. He has nothing to compete with that and it's unfortunate. Okay, so now let's take a look at Phantom X. Let's take a look at his kit. Let's try to be a little bit faster. So let's close these. Let's take a look at his stats. So remember that he will get 50% additional HP. That makes him as beefy as Gambit. The damage is kind of low. The armor is also kind of low, and especially because he's going to be somewhat of a tank. This is very low armor. Low resistance as well. It's okay, but for a tank is not great. And then the focus is somewhat decent. ISO suggestion from the developers is Striker, but maybe he would be better as a Raider. I really don't see what's the point of Striker. Maybe even as a Skirmisher. Maybe even as a Skirmisher he would be better, and you'll see why in a second. Some people are comparing this character to Bishop, and the difference is that Bishop, he has high base damage. Not the case for Phantom X, he has low base damage, so having Striker as a weight on him might not be as relevant as it is for Bishop, so keep that in mind. Okay, so Hero Mutant, Global Blaster, Unlimited X-Men. Attack the primary target for damage, piercing, single target damage. On crit, apply defense down to the enemy. Repeat this attack 2 times, so I guess it will repeat these 2 times. So you have 3 chances of applying defense down to 1 target. Nothing special. When forced to attack X-Men allies, he will do less damage. So that's only convenient because he's going to have taunt, so he's more susceptible to mind controls. Not great so far. Now let's take a look at his special. 4 energy comes full, gain the taunt for 2 turns. So like I said, he's going to be somewhat of a tank, somewhat similar to Bishop. He just does not have the same amount of base damage as Bishop. Okay, so attack the primary target for 400% damage and apply taunt and offense down for that primary target. If the primary target has taunt, attack the enemy with the highest damage instead. So that means that if you are forced to attack a tank because he is taunting, he's going to attack the enemy with the highest damage. This is very inconvenient. This is very convenient and is actually very useful on defense. So you can always attack the enemy with the highest damage and ignore the Luke Cages or whatever. Very, very convenient ability. I really like this one. After that, he's going to apply defense up to himself and all unlimited X-Men allies. So he gains the taunt and he's also going to get the defense up, so he tanks a lot better. Very nice, nowhere similar as, for example, Silver Samurai. Silver Samurai as a tank is way better, so This is very similar to Bishop, a lot better because we have the crowd control here of the offense sound for 2 turns. And it's a very interesting ability. So now let's take a look at the ultimate. 5 energy comes full. Clear all deflects and evades from the primary target. So we have once again an ability that is only primary target, single target damage. Not great, I don't like that. Attacks the primary target for 50% piercing, repeats this attack for 50% piercing 5 times to a total of 300% piercing. In Cosmic Crucible, instead of attacking 5 times, it attacks 9 times, so it's going to be a total of 500% piercing. This attack gains 10% damage per positive effect on a primary target. That would be nice if he would ignore a defense up. If he does not ignore defense up, then this is kind of trash. The damage is very low multiplier, so if you don't have him as a raider, the damage is not going to be great. And once again, if it would ignore defense up, that would be significant. Like this, if he has defense up, who cares? This attack is unavoidable and cannot be blocked. So the ultimate doesn't sound very interesting, the special very interesting, the basic kinda okayish, but the ultimate sounds like trash. Is this guy going to be a raider? Is this guy going to be good for raids? Is this guy going to be good for Dark Dimension? Doesn't look like. Okay, so now we have the passive, and the passive, so many things. I can take it with my dyslexia. Okay, so on spawn, apply evade to self and all unlimited X-Men allies. Okay, that's nice. That will activate the passive from Gambit to have more crit and more crit damage. On turn heal for 20% max health. That's going to be nice since he's a tank, but that's also not nice because tanks, they always have slow, they always get turn rewind, and it might be hard to trigger this, but maybe that's a good thing. Because when this guy dies, apply offense up to all unlimited X-Men allies. Nice, I guess. Then he's also going to apply defense up to all allies, unlimited X-Men or not, it doesn't matter. And then it calls the 2 allies unlimited X-Men with the highest damage to attack the most injured enemies. So as you can see, this team has a lot of abilities that focus on the most injured enemies and try to remove them as fast as possible, so the characters that remain are the tanks and the supports of the enemy team, which is very interesting. While this character has defense up, gain 100% chance of counter, so after you use the special, you'll get 100% chance of counter. But remember what I said, because this guy has lower base damage than Bishop, the counter attack is not going to deal that much damage, so maybe it's going to be better to use this guy to spam vulnerabilities on the enemy team. So this is something to keep in mind when we are going to make the ISO8 suggestions for this team. Gain 10,000 resistance against bleed, gain 10% dodge per unlimited X-Men ally. That means it will get 20% dodge right now and then 40% dodge when he has the entire team. It's nice, but dodge is not the best way of tanking. Mitigation is always better than dodging, but okay. And then we have some additional mitigation here. We have 25% armor for himself and for the entire team, but 25% of nothing is still nothing. This will be significant for Gambit that has almost 20,000 armor, but for this guy that has like 10,000 armor, this is not going to be relevant at all. So it's kind of lame. We have to wait and see, but it doesn't look so good. Okay, finally we have Dazzler. So many characters. Okay, so Dazzler, let's see the stats. So HP, same as Gambit and same as Phantom X, after the buffs, of course, not independently. Low base damage again, like Phantom X, very low armor. This is the concerning territory. If you have 4 digits armor, this is very concerning at this point in time. The resistance also very low, and the focus is pretty much insane. So, but you have to see that she has Skirmisher Isolate, so that means that her focus without Skirmisher Isolate it's going to be like 17,000, 18,000, which is very, very good. Okay, so let's take a look at her basic. In Cosmic Crucible, flip defense up on a primary target to defense down. So nice, I guess, single target damage. Attack the primary target for 300% damage and applies offense down. So this is very convenient. If you are flipping defense up on a damaged character and then you are applying offense down, that's even going to increase your focus because you flip the defense up into defense down. So very convenient. In Cosmic Crucible, if you crit, it also applies blind. So are they telling us to use this character as a raider as well so we can apply these blinds? Because otherwise we'll only have 35% chance of crit, and that's not very convenient. This attack cannot be countered, great. Special, 6 energy comes full. Attack the primary target for 360% damage, applies blind, and turn rewinds for 25%. So this is nice. Turn rewind 25% without applying slow, it's not that great. So yeah, it's nice, but not that great. And single target damage again, a lot of single target damage on this team. What's wrong with this team? Okay, so barrier, self, and all unlimited X-Men allies for 300% max health. That's decent. As we saw, they have all the same max health, so 30% for her, it's going to be 30% for everyone else as well. In Cosmic Crucible, apply 2 regeneration and to self. Yes, self and all unlimited X-Men allies. So it will not affect the non-X-Men unlimited, but it will affect her own team. So this attack is unavoidable and cannot be countered. Big energy cost, concerning part about this, big energy cost. Single target damage without slow, blind without slow, not great. The barrier is good because it's for everyone. Regeneration is good because it's for everyone. And the attack is unavoidable and cannot be countered. So in terms of red stars on this character, as you can see, you are double up, you are triple up here. You are doing damage, you need the focus, you are getting heal from the regenerations, and you are also getting barrier. So I are tripling up on the value of the red stars for Dazzler. So you can already see that it's going to be important to have red stars on her. Okay, so now we have the ultimate. 5 energy comes full, flip 2 negative effects into positive effects on self and all unlimited X-Men allies. So this is going to be very similar to Night Nurse. So based on that experience, you know this ability is going to be very powerful. In Cosmic Crucible, instead of flipping 2 negative effects, it will flip all negative effects into positive effects for self and unlimited X-Men allies. Very interesting. Apply ability block to the primary target. This is available on turn 1. Cool, right? Very cool. We have once again another ability block, and this time it will apply slow. It will attack all enemies and will apply slow. So once again, telling us that red stars on this character are going to be important for the damage, for the barrier, for the regenerations, and also for the focus. This ability gets even more focus, so it's guaranteed that you'll apply the slow and the ability block, very important. And because you are attacking all enemies, it's also important that this ability cannot be countered. Passive. Disco Diva. In Cosmic Crucible, on spawn, barrier, self, and all unlimited X-Men allies for 30% max health. So once again, giving you reason to have high red stars on her, to have additional barrier. When an unlimited X-Men ally gains a negative effect, fill the speed bar of this character by 10%. So once again, it reminds us of Night Nurse, and getting this additional speed is going to be very important. We don't know how fast the Dazzler is. We know that Gambit is slow outside of Cosmic Crucible. We will have to wait and see how fast Dazzler is going to be, but this ability alone is very interesting. On blind, I don't know exactly when we are going to get blind on these characters. Maybe when we are facing Brotherhood, or maybe when we are facing Mirror Match. On blind, gain deflect and clear all blinds from self and X-Men allies. So this is going to be very, very good against the Brotherhood enemies. Gain 35% focus and unlimited allies gain 35% focus. So that's why her focus is a little bit higher than the other characters. I think they're like 12,000, so that means she has 17,000, so it's not going to be as high, but very, very interesting. Okay, so which characters you should focus on? Obviously you want to focus on Gambit because he has the most damage output, he applies the bleeds, and he also applies the ability block and whatever. And you also need him to stay alive as long as possible, so you definitely need to get big red stars on him, not just for the damage, but also for him to stay alive. Dazzler is going to be the second most important character. Once again, we saw that she applies tons of negative effects, blind, slow, ability blocks, and so on. She's also going to give you regeneration. She's also going to give you barrier with the special and with the passive. So once again, very important to have red stars on her. And the character that you'll probably want to ignore is Phantom X. It is okay, it does okay damage, his abilities are nothing special, and it's kind of even convenient for him to be weak, so the faster he dies, the faster he will give defense up and offense up to the other unlimited X-Men characters, and maybe that's going to be your ticket for win. In terms of raids and other game modes, none of these characters looks any good for raids or Dark Dimension. Their abilities are very limited to Cosmic Crucible and for the unlimited X-Men allies, so yeah, not cool at all. I think they will be very, very limited to Cosmic Crucible, but we have to wait and see because once again this is only 60% of the team. There are still 2 more characters coming in the patch after this one. So that's going to be the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed some insight and my opinions on these characters. Once again, Gambit and Dazzler, focus on those characters, ignore this guy. And in terms of gear tiers, maybe get this guy 14, 15. Okay, let's get Gambit 15. Let's get her to 14 and this guy 14 as well, but maybe her level 85 and him only level 80 or 75. So yeah, guys, that's going to be the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you smash that like button. And if you found the information helpful, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content. And I will catch you guys later.